And you know what's scary about this is cyberbullying is a whole different beast, animal in this situation. But what about this? The school year is just beginning for a lot of kids. Is now a perfect time to really set the tone for the new school year?
Absolutely. Now is the perfect time. So if schools don't have anti-bullying policies in place, I highly recommend that they put those in place. Also doing a lot of education with the kids and the teens, teaching them how to speak up when bullying is happening, and also teaching the school teachers and administrators how to respond appropriately and bringing in experts to deal with the situation.
And what do you think about a lot of schools or community groups are trying creative approaches where we talked about the circle of friends, of trying something active as opposed to just putting out policies, or sports. Some groups are using sports as a way to kind of get kids together and working together and having sort of a common goal. What do you feel about doing something that's a little out of the box?
I think that's critically important. So first, having the policy in place is needed, but then in addition to that, having healthy ways to engage the student body is really important. So what you were sharing about the club at lunch, there's lots of different ways to be able to engage children and teens so that way they're not left off by themselves, because that usually is when they become the target of bullying.
Good.
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to add that you want to make sure kids out there know?
Don't be afraid to tell an adult, because that's what I would be. Because in elementary, I would be afraid to tell my parents or the teachers, because I did think the people that were bullying me, they'd call me tattletale and like tell the whole class and stuff and bully me like that. And I didn't like it, so I just kept it to myself.
So the advice is, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
don't keep the emotion inside you, because it's just going to hurt you even more. And that's basically bullying yourself.
That's a good way to put it, actually.
Yeah. And is it important, did it help you to have friends or family you could confide in, to talk to about it?
Well, I didn't really have any friends, so the most person I was around was my family. And that's how I handled it, was around my family.
When I was in, like, I think, kindergarten, first grade, when I went to Doyle, I always got bullied. One time by this girl, she was like, when I left my hair down, she's like, "Oh, your hair's so poofy, you look so weird." And I was offended at first, and then I talked to my mom, and she told me, doesn't matter what they say, just be yourself, because it doesn't matter if she doesn't like how I am and how I dress and stuff. I like it, and a lot of people else like it, so it doesn't matter what she says, just always be yourself.
Amazing. One little comment like that, which was probably intended harmlessly, at least you think, and yet it's taken to heart, and look at, how many years ago was that? Years, right?
Yeah.
And she still remembers it like it was yesterday.
She didn't even realize she was bullying, but when I told her, at first she didn't believe it. Like the first few times I told her, she didn't believe it. But then when we had like a meeting with the principal and stuff, then because I told them, we took care of it, and she didn't even, and we found out that she didn't even know or realize that she was even bullying me.
Well, it may be the difference between teasing and bullying, and trying to figure out where the line is for kids, because someone who's doing it may not think it's hurting the other person. Meanwhile, the person on the receiving end, it's very painful.
I think the line is crossed when the person who is on the receiving end is clearly becoming upset. So it's no longer playful, it's no longer laughing, but the person begins crying or asks the other kid to stop, or begins to kind of cower and shrink back. Those are all signs that it's crossed the line. But again, if kids have observed this behavior, they really may have no awareness that they're engaging in something that's hurtful. So that's where the education piece comes in.
But she handled it like textbook, from a
Absolutely.
textbook, perfectly.
Great job.
All of these girls did. Again, way to go. In a tough situation, but you came out stronger and really set an example for how to get through it, and to help others who may be going through it right now try to figure out what should I do? I want this to stop.
So brave to go on TV to talk about it. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.